night down in Japan, and we have his opponent is Sakul, who according to that is from Greece. And I don't think I've ever seen Sakul play. He is ranked as a champion, and he's got through to round 3. Admittedly, he had a forfeit in the first round. I think I'm trying to remember who it was that he forfeited or got forfeited against him. But he's through, and I would imagine this should be a tough match for him. The room is up. Sakul and Acero are both in the lobby. I'm just going to join the room and just waiting the players arriving. We'll lag for break. A reminder again, it's race to 15. There's no jump queues and it's alternate break. Sakul has arrived in the room, and we're just waiting on Acero appearing. Well, he's a 2000 rated player. Acero is certainly, and he's arrived, certainly Acero is a 2200, so he should be a strong favourite. But is this alternate break going to play a big part? Good lag on the near side, well short on the left side, and Acero has won that lag. Once again, we're on Twitch, YouTube and Facebook, and Acero gets the 8 ball in the break, and he's got a shot in the 1. The 6 looks to be a bit of a problem. Let's have a quick look, see if it cuts. Well, it cuts. Yep, and there's a tiny gap on the 9 ball. And the 5's in a good position to get onto that 6. And Acero, once again, a big gap to get into for that 5 ball, and he's taking his eye off the 4. And well, now we're going to see the capabilities of Sakul, whether he can get over onto that 5 and pinch this rack. I think he's barely got there. He's going to have to maybe try and kick this in off the rail or spin around the 7, but he's under hit it. And yeah, I think he thought he could get there, but it was always going to be too tight to get past that 7, although it's gone safe. That's a good angle on this 5 ball. If Sakul can cut it in. But he needs to cut it in with the right weight of shot. He doesn't want to overhit this, because the angle is good, and the only danger is hooking himself behind the 7. And he's broke out the 6, and the 5 has gone towards the top rail, but it can be cut. It's a tough cut, and it's even tougher to try and get good on this 6 ball for acero. Once again, he actually checked that, I think, with right English, and it's checked up too much, and he's left the 5 ball exposed, or the cue ball exposed anyway. Oh, good afternoon, Bill. The victor has arrived. And Sakul hung up the 5, trying to get back up for that 6, left it well short, but acero hasn't got anything easy here. He's dead straight in the 5, he's close to the rail, and it might be the best shot here to actually leave a bank on this 6 ball. I don't know whether he can get out far enough. It's really tight in that pocket, and close to the rail means he can't get enough of the cue ball. He might try and pinch it off the bottom rail here. He might try and pinch this in and make an angle, try and get the cue ball moving. It's easy enough to do that, and it might be the best chance here to get up the table. Well, he's tried his best, but now he has got a relatively good position. He's going to have to make the cut if he can get it. He can get between that the 6 and the 9, and he's got there, and that will help. A little nudge in the 9, and it's going to be first rack to acero. So a bit of a shaky start. Sakul not finding his lines. And this match is most certainly going to be a case of what Sakul can take from the chances he gets, and he might be found wanting in terms of being able to put the racks away, but that remains to be seen. So Sakul with the break in rack 2. And he scratched, and ball in hand for acero. Well, no problem with the 1 and the 2, and plenty of room to get on the 3 on that right side. And I think the 5, if it comes to it, well, it doesn't go into the middle. So it will hinge on how good he gets on this 3. So it's going to be a slight cut back into this bottom right hand corner pocket, unless he tries to come up the table and do something crazy, but he's playing the common sense shot. Now he might try stunning the 3 in and nudging the 7, but this could go wrong. Well, that's exactly what's happened. He's brushed the 7, cue ball slid away, and now he's got no shot. Is he trying to play a cut? It's far too close, I think, that 7 for it to go in. No. Well, I don't know whether he's trying to just run away and hide somewhere. He's not got many places to hide, mind you. Well, this is going to be awkward as well. I think he's dead straight in the 5, and there's a slight angle. In fact, he actually doesn't need to do anything. He's just hampered slightly with the 9 ball, but it's just a roll in, and he'll have a shot in the 6. And again, he's left himself dead straight in the 6. Now, if he tries to draw this and pinch a bit here, he could easily hang it up. And that needs to run. Well, he's got a thin cut, but this would be a good one to steal. Needs to slow down. And now it's awkward. And again, just got to watch the cue ball. Don't let it escape too far. He's got a cut back. Cue ball's going back across and up the table slightly while he's held it. Maybe could have done with getting it out into the table a bit more, but it's still a chance to steal this rack. And that's a good take out there by Sakul. Gets him back all square. Break goes back to acero, so it was even more important, that rack, because I forgot it was Sakul's break. So he's at least done what was required. Acero with a couple of balls in the break. Well, he's played a little billiard there, but he's now left himself nothing easy on this one ball. That was maybe not the best way to play it. He was just relying on still having a shot in the one. Now he can play a half decent safety here, but he's gone for the cut into the middle, and that is just again pushing the boat out a bit. Good afternoon, welcome. And this will be our second match of 2 today. There is another one, or unless anything's changed, there's another match tonight. At least one tonight at 8 o'clock. There might be one at 9 my time as well, but I'm afraid I'll be in cloud cuckoo land at that time, chaps. Meanwhile, Sakul has found himself hooked again. Something of his own doing, and looking to kick at the 3. Got the kick. How's the luck? Well, the cue ball's running out, and this is the opportunity that acero wants to take these out, to go back into the lead, this time against the break though. Another one that he has to be careful with here. If he gets this shot wrong, he can easily draw it into the middle pocket. He's trying to just stun. Now, is he going far enough? Just enough. Well, looks fairly straightforward. 3 rails over to the right middle pocket to leave that 9 ball into the top left. The angle's there to do it. And that will do nicely as long as it just comes off the rail. But again, it's always important to stress how important your own break is. So Sakul, we're back on par basically. Acero has won his rack. Sakul's now got the pressure on because he's now trailing. And something's went in. What went in there? The 4 ball's gone. He's got a thin cut. If he's wanting to have a go at it into that left middle, but he could even just feather the 1 and just try and drop onto the top cushion. There's good cover there. Well, he's gone for the cut. So that's now put the onus on him to again back himself up. everything's now waiting to be put into a hole. They're all there. Again, keep this simple. A little stunning in the 5 would be ideal. Well, he's just let that squirt away a wee bit. He just wanted to stun that in, just to leave the roll in the 6 into the left middle. Now he's awkward. He's in between shots here. If he goes for it long, he's running away to the left and leaving the 7 ball more awkward. If he takes it into the middle, he's running down off the bottom rail and back up. So he needs to watch what he's doing with the cue ball, and that's what's cost him. Again, just playing the wrong shot in the 5 ball there into that corner. If he'd stunned it in a little draggy shot, he would have been able to hold the cue ball for the 6 into the left middle, and it would have been simple enough. And he's gave that away. And these are the minor errors when you're playing a certain shot that will cost. As soon as you get that one shot out of line, it just heaps the pressure on the next shot, and that's exactly what's happened there for Sakul, and he's going to pay the price. It might seem a minor error, but it is minor when you're leaving yourself in that awkward position and leaving yourself work to do. And this is the outcome. The gap has now been created. It's now 3-1 to acero. The 9 ball's going to go in, I think. Well, the 9 ball is hanging up, so this is going to be a quick rat. Is that a dry break? Well, there's a bonus. A bonus and a half there for Sakul. Dry break by acero, 9 ball hanging, and it's going to be 3-2. And immediately the break is back with Sakul, but still in deficit. So still with that pressure on his own break. And well, he's got a couple of balls in a break, but once again not getting luck with the position. He's got a reasonable bank here, and he's got the double bank as a backup. He's going to be hitting the 2. He's comboed the 2 in, and he's landed on the 4. Now the problem immediately is where the 5 ball is, and he's fairly straight in the 4. But again, if you just take your medicine and pot the 4, well, that could have been so much better if it just had a bit more running pace on it. But he could had the opportunity there to play a safety. He still does have, because if he goes for this 5, he's running away down the table here, away from the 6. Oh, that's poor. He's choked on that one. I think he's maybe feeling the nerves, trying to think about holding for that 6, and it was never on into the middle. So I think again he made the error in judgment there. When he potted the 4 on the right hand side, it was much easier to take your medicine, pot the 4, and just tie up acero on that 5 ball. He would have had a good opportunity to have done that. Meanwhile, acero is in no man's land. So we're seeing just wrong choice of shot there by Sakul that could well cost him. Well, acero went all out for the pot there. I don't think I've any doubt about that, and he's got away with it. Now, this is really thin. He has to get this right on the point. Yep, he's missed it and double kissed it, and the errors are already creeping in, far too many. And this time acero is in prime position. and he's going to open that gap again. But that tentative shot that Sakul played also, trying to roll the 5 into the top right hand corner and somehow hold for the 6. That might have been the plan, but nothing worked out at all. He didn't go through with the shot and he got nowhere on the 6, so there's a bit of work needing done on the planning, and that might be where he's fallen short. Because when you play matches over a longer distance against a higher rated player, it generally doesn't take long for things to pattern out, and then you realise why the player is 200 points ahead of his opponent. Well, again, it could end up being a bit of a tactical battle here, because the 6 is going nowhere where it's sitting. And of course there is the possibility, if acero can get some sort of angle on the 5, that he can run into those balls. Let's have a look. Well, he's got too much angle, I think. And if he drops down, he can certainly cut the 6 in. Well, he's tried to create something, but it's ended in disaster. Not that much of a disaster though, but if he doesn't move this 6 ball at all, it could be a 6-7. Oh, mind you, a 9 off the rail. Yes, it is. I thought it was going to be a 6-7-9 combo, but it's not that bad. Good afternoon, all you latecomers. Now acero, I think he likes a bit of 3 rail, because he's looking to pick the angle on that first rail. Well, this a simple 2 rail kick, but if he gets this right, he's got a chance of knocking the 6 in. Oh, he wasn't far off the line. He made a good effort at it. Now, well, Sakul's got nothing on, and he should be locking acero up again here. Oh dear, what's he done here? Yeah, he's got himself in bother here. And all he's done is he's just opened the game up. So, yeah, Sakul needs to work a bit on strategy. That's the first impression I'm getting here. I think that he's hoping to create things and things go his way rather than do the right shot, and got himself no shot at all with a 6 and 7, and it's costing him. And this is just fritter. I'll say that again, fritter and racks away. You've got to use your shot clock. What is the shot clock? Is it 45 seconds and a 30 extension or something like that? You've got to get the brain cells working. And well, this is a crisis already for Sakul. Trailing 5-2. Ball in the break, and he's had a blast, and these aren't good signs early on. These are not good signs. He's had a blast when he could have played the push out, and well, we talk about using the head. You've got to stay focused. It's a race to 15. The match isn't over, but you've got to start using the old brain cells, I'm afraid, because acero's going to tie you up in knots here in a second. That's exactly what I'd be doing. I'd be nailing him to that 9 ball and really frustrate him. Yeah. Oh, he's potted it. Well, he fancies a run out. He's trying to drop this in dead weight. It isn't getting there. That was the only way he could hold for the 5. Sakul has got far too much angle on this 4, I think, to hold for the 5. He's going to find himself in trouble if he doesn't hit something to hold the cue ball. Well, he's hit the 8. Now again, the shot here is just the thin right edge in that 5 ball, and just brush it along the rail and do nothing else other than that and try and get distance. Well, he's gone all out for the cut, but when you start running the cue ball, you're running into trouble, or you've always left yourself the chance of running into trouble. Again, you've got to play the percentage shot. What you're looking for is distance, and he had such an easy shot. That ball there, thin edge it, push it along the rail, get the cue ball down here, and you've got a safety. And he's trying to be spectacular. Well, he's been given a lifeline here in this rack, but he shouldn't have. And he's playing himself straight in this. Well, he stunned it. We'll give him that one. Sometimes you want to actually have a live feed to the guy to say, you know, use your head. But anyway, the score is back to 5-3. You know, it doesn't matter what game you play. The strategy is the same in every game in terms of, you know, using your head, seeing the shot, thinking the percentage shot on occasions. Obviously 9 ball is a more attacking game, but there's a right time and a wrong time to lay it in the line. And you know, you always see the wrong choice of shot from some players. If you get it, you look a hero, but 9 times out of 10 you end up paying the price for it. I can't look at the schedule because, as I say, with the internal browser being down, I can't bring it on the screen. Spectre Don's playing his match tonight, I believe. I would like to have got that one, but unfortunately I won't be here. I'll be gone by then. And I think Acero's got enough to pinch there just to bring the cue ball up, or roll it into the middle pocket, whatever he wants to do. The gap has been extended back to 3 racks. It's now 6-3 to Acero. Break with Sakul from Greece, Acero from Japan. Well, the break is dry. Can Acero see the 1 ball? Well, he can, but he can't see enough of it. But once again, Acero's got a good chance to get distance off this one. He needs to miss the double kiss though, and he's managed that. And what's the cover like? The cover's pretty good. Well, the last time I heard, I asked Keith 2 or 3 days ago as to when he was going to play semi, and Keith said if possible at the weekend, but I looked at the bracket earlier on and nothing had been arranged, so unless they arrange their match for, you know, like 6 o'clock tonight, I won't be able to get it. Meanwhile, acero back at the table. Problem ball, we know where that one is. It's the 4 ball on the left side behind the 5. Oh dear. Well, I don't know what he was trying to do with the cue ball there. But Sakul's done the right thing this time. Easy kick, but you don't know where everything's going to end up. But you see, acero played that in a gentle pace, knowing that the 2 ball, if he kicked it right, was going to go just off the top rail and out, and hoping he gets cover. I don't think he has, but again, it wasn't just a straightforward smash. He was hoping to still get cover behind some of those balls there. He's left a thin cut in the 2 though. And Sakul from this position has got no chance of getting on the 4. So he has to again use his head here. He could block himself out and have absolutely no shot at all the way this 4 ball's sitting. Oh, has it been arranged? Yeah, Baker Maker playing Spectre Dawn. Oh dear. Well, at least he can see the 4. No, he can't. He's snookered. He's corner hooked. So when's the 9th of May? This is what, the 3rd? What's 6 days from now? And what time is the match arranged? 8 o'clock? That's again. I'm off Tuesday, Wednesday this week. And I think that is like Friday or something, is it? Again, no use to me. I won't see it. And again, this time Acero's just can see enough of the 4 to hit it. Oh dear. Well, that is a bonus and a half. He certainly, I don't think he played the pot. He could just see enough of the edge of that 4, but the 4 has gone in, and that's all that matters. Yeah, that's way too late. If they were arranging them for 6 o'clock at night, that's the latest I could start watching a match, because it would give me time to get the match in and get to bed. That's a nice little kiss in the 6. Well, he doesn't want to have too much on this. It can drop out, so he's come up the table slightly. That leaves him good in the 9. And acero is pulling away. It now goes to 7-3 with the break. Eight ball goes in, 6 ball goes in, and line on the 1, and this should be 8-3. I think he's a bit straight though, that might be the problem. Well, he's managed to just pinch it with a little spin, but it most certainly should be 8-3 here. There's no reason at all. Drop the 4 in, roll through to the rail. And just kill the cue ball, I think. Leave a fairly straight in 7. Well, sakul has it all to do now. We've seen what happens in these matches. It's of vital importance that you do something on your break. And sakul, I think, has come up dry. And once again, these balls have broken pretty good, bar from the fact nothing's got in. And acero just picking the potting angle in the 1, but it needs to keep the cue ball out, and that's good. Little soft draw to the rail. And there's nothing that gives you more pain in an alternate break tournament than, first of all, you're trailing by a margin, secondly, you break, third, you come up dry, fourth, the table's wide open, and fifth, your opponent's lying on the first ball. And meanwhile, acero, in getting position in the 4, has missed a 3. And here we go. sakul has his chance. He's got the angle to drop over, but he's hitting him far too hard. I mean, that wasn't a shot. Look where the 5 ball is. The shot was pot that ball, get the cue ball back over here, run the 4 down the rail, and you're on the 5, and he's all over the place, I'm afraid. He's just not thinking sensibly here and leaving himself silly shots to try and pot and keep a visit going. When you're doing that, you're struggling, or you've got a lack of ideas as to what you're generally going about to try and run a table, and that is shown in quite a big way in this rack. I mean, if he runs out, again, he looks a hero that he's done it, but it's not the right way to do it. You know, he's cut the 5, the cue ball's going to bounce up, he's going to be on the 6, but he's hit the 8 and he's landed on the 6, and somehow or other he may well run out, but it's just not a good way to run out. It's all relying on just luck to get there, and that's one thing you're going to be found out on. You know, you can do all this kind of stuff in a challenge room, but when it comes to a tournament, this is where you prove whether your rating is worth anything on paper. And again, he's now well short on this 8, sorry, and it's a really thin cut into that middle pocket. Looks as if he's going to cut it into the bottom. Could scratch the middle here with this one. Yeah, again, that was one shot too many, and it's all come to nothing. But it could have been all so simple, or much simpler, if he'd done what I said with that first shot. And all Acero did there was just pick over the bones. And he's now gone to 9-3. And this time Acero is dry. But there's even more frustration than the fact that Acero has broke and left sakul nothing. He's kicked to one, it's gone in. Well, anybody watching what if anybody who is in a tournament and watches a stream, you know, I only interpret it the way I see it, and you know, sometimes the truth hurts. The one thing you would hope that sakul would do is if he did watch this, then he needs to then go away and think about how he played and where he went wrong. And where he's going wrong immediately is not thinking about what he's doing. Looking at the lay of the table, looking at where the next ball. I mean, we're talking about the basics of trying to run a table. Thinking about your next shot, rather than, you know, just banging a ball and it's the cue ball's running and somehow you end up on the next ball. And he might think that looks good in a challenge room, but it isn't good in tournament play, because you're going to get found out very rapidly. You know, he's in round 3 and he's probably, I mean, he probably played exactly the same in his other match that he played, but you know, that was maybe against someone who was of a similar level to him. But now he's gone way up in level here, and he's been found wanting in a big way. And that's what happens in tournaments. You can be sailing along in your first 2 or 3 matches thinking, well, this is simple, and then realising that you're way below the level that's needed to be competitive in these kind of tournaments. And that brush on the 6 is now put him square. Cue ball's going to be running again. But again, if you get the pace in this right, you just run out into the middle of the table. You don't bang this in. You cut it in, and you leave yourself somewhere in the middle of the table. He's overhit it, and he's now gone way over to the left rail. So he's given himself work to do. Although he's got a slight angle, it's just a roll in with a bit of pace to get the cue ball around the corner or off the side rail and across. Once again, the nerves are showing, the pressure is on him, and it's another one where Acero is just picking the bones. 2 balls left in the table in the last rack from sakul, and 2 in this one, and well, it's double figures, it's 10-3. And we have a delay. I wonder what's happening here. Oh, there we go. And now I've mentioned this before, the further to the left and the right you break in Virtual Pool 4, the heavier the pack, if you know what I mean. A lot of the times when you break from the extreme left and right of the table, you break the balls and it's as if the rack of balls are like twice the weight they normally are, and they don't seem to open. And you look at the position of the balls from that break, you know, the 8 balls gone down the table here, but the rest of them are all hanging up the top end. And Acero just picked off the 1-9 combo. That has got to hurt. If ever you're going to drive a nail home against your opponent, it's that shot there. The 1-9 combo, it's 11-3 from sakul breaking off. And Acero with the billiard on the 2 ball if he wants it. Just relying that he's going to get on the 1, but the billiard is most certainly there. Yep, cue ball's just going to run in after it. But how good is sakul going to be in running this table? Again, you look at the balls, you've got a shot clock, and you think, right, what am I doing next here? Right, I want to just roll the one into the left middle, leave the angle in that 3, pot the 3 in this bottom right hand corner, bring the cue ball out into the table for the 4. Well, he's still got the angle, and again, he just needs to make sure he's over on the left hand side. That's all that's required. Now what angle's he got? He's a bit straight. Now if he was brave enough, he would hit this cue ball just below the equator with a bit of drop, and again he's getting that relying on luck way of playing it. But that again wasn't the shot, because you're always going to run into traffic on that side of the table. But he's got a cut on the 5. And he's too much angle in this 7. But if he plays it right, he could nudge into the 9 and leave the cut in the rail on the 8. Well, that might do, but it's tough. He's gone the other side of the 8, and we know what happens with these. It either goes flush, or it can hit the point in the middle pocket, or it just comes off the rail. And he's played it very well indeed. And a simple 9. Well, fair play to him. He's got there unconventionally, but he's got there. And he breaks the run and gets number 4 on the board. But he persists. Again, if your break isn't working, change it. He's away over on the left hand side. Let's see how they break this time. You see what I mean? You know, that those cluster of 3 balls just sort of hanging around. The pack just doesn't want to open good when you break too far left and right. And again, he's come up dry. And if he's got the right angle here, acero, he can draw across for the 2. And he's going to brush the 3, but he's going to brush it in the right direction if he plays it gentle enough. Now there's again just a simple shot that acero played there, thinking about what he's doing. He knows that if he pots the 2, he's brushing the 3, but he knows if he plays it at the right pace, nothing's going to escape. Things like that, you know, would sakul play that shot? Yeah, the only time you'd ever break from the far left and right is if you are looking to change your break, if your break isn't working for you. But I've always found it breaks very heavy from the left and right hand side. Well, here's the problem shot here. Now, well, we know the 6 goes in both corner pockets, but it's getting on it. Now is he going to try and squirt in behind it? He's checking the cue ball up to hold it, and that is you couldn't probably play that any better. The weight is perfect. Nice little angle on the 6, and again, if he gently pots this, the cue ball won't go away over to the right. He'll leave the 7 into the top left. Well, he's come to get it into the middle, but slightly the wrong side again, but nothing to do with the cue ball really. But look where the 9 is. That 9 can always be the problem. You see, he's trying to get up for the 9. Hung the 8, and it's a chance for sakul. Now he has to use the rail and the edge of the 8 to come down this side, and it's all about pace. half ball. Yeah, he actually got that too thick there. He hit it too thick, and he's left himself the bedhead cut. Is bedhead watching? He'll know what I'm talking about. He looks as if he's banking this. Am I reading this wrong? No, he's played the cut. Where's the cue ball going? Oh dear, disaster. And he's doing everything in the book. And that's another one that hurts. You just play the pot with the pace. You don't let the cue ball run. Basic errors we're talking about here. And it's now 12-4 to Acero. Acero comes up dry. Well, look at the cover that he's got there. There are no jump cues, so there's an easy safety on. And now he's sticking his neck out to make the pot in the 2. He's brought the 3 into play, and he's set everything up for Acero. Got to get wise and use your head. That makes a vast improvement to anybody's game if they start thinking exactly what they're doing, and if they weigh up the percentages. A good opportunity for a half decent safety. Wasn't interested, wanting to do the spectacular, and it just all ends up as a gift start for Acero, although he hasn't got there on the 5. But Acero can afford to be loose. He's under no pressure, and it's just all a matter of time. Oh, that's a good cut. Dead weight cut. Another thin one on the 6. And, well, the cue ball's going to run, but anywhere up in the top side of the table, he's going to have some sort of sight on the 7. He's preferring to leave it in the bottom side. Could have let the cue ball go anywhere there, he'd still be potting the 7. I have to dig into this a wee bit. And that will do. And so Acero wins another. It's now 13-4. Again, not changing his break, and let's see what happens. Well, they've opened a bit better this time. Two ball and 6 ball adjacent, but once again it's a dry break though. Two ball isn't going anywhere, but playing a draw, hoping to create something. Well, he's got up the top end, and this is where he should be playing the snooker if he's got the angle to do it. Yep, he can easily push that 2 ball past the 8 up towards the 3 and leave the cue ball there. That's the shot. and he's playing it off the 8 again, going all out. But whenever you do that, whenever you make that choice, you have to back it up. As soon as you immediately decide that's what you're going to do, then you have to find your way out. Can he get on the 4 ball? There's an awful lot of blocking balls on that side of the table where the cue ball wants to go. Well, that's going to run around the angles. He's got a shot, and the angle in the 4 means he should be on that 5 into the middle, and he's got the 6 in between the 8 and 9, so not a lot to do with the cue ball. Now, is this a straight draw? Let's look at that 8 ball. Again, looking at the shot he's got and where the 8 ball is. He's drawing back to play the 8 into that left corner. Just about got there. And now he's got a reasonably straight issue. It's off line, but should roll it in. Well, it was a brave out by Sakul, but I think it might be the death throws in this match. Why did I say Sakul? It was bloody acero. Why did nobody tell me? That shows you I'm falling asleep already. Acero now in the hill. I think you guys just sat there and said, just let the guy waffle. He's waffling. Why did I think it was a Sakul that was at the table? That was weird. How I suddenly thought it was Sakul. I don't know where I went wrong. Anyway, it's all going to be over fairly shortly. If he can stun out far enough. Well, he's using a bit of helping spin, and that's got him there. Well, this match started barely an hour ago. It's not even an hour. Just short of the hour. Acero just signing off with a comfortable win. But things are going to get tougher very rapidly in round 4, but he wins the match by 15 racks to 4, and he's now through to round 4. Sakul, of course, with it being double elimination, gets a second chance, but as I say, he's got a fair bit to do if he's going to be competitive on the one-loss side, because he's going to meet some mean people on that side of the tournament as well fairly soon. So until we meet again, it was short and sweet. Thanks for your company, chaps, and we will see you again soon. I don't know when that'll be. Maybe if there's some matches on Monday night or Tuesday night, I'll get 1 or 2 of them in, so hopefully that will be the case. Until then, take care and keep your distance, and I'll see you again soon.